All right, guys, it is Friday, May 22nd, and our math lesson today is a little bit longer. Your teachers would like to do day 4 and day 5 today for week 3, so that's what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and start at day 4 in week 3. Week 3, day 4. All right, so let's take a look at this. It says true or false. 3 times 4/5 equals 4 times 3/5. Well, let's just work this out. Now remember, when we multiply fractions, the denominators do not need to be the same, and we want to put the whole number of some there over 1. So now we've got 3 over 1. I don't know why it's doing that. Over 1 and 3 over 1. So now we're going to go here. 3 times 4 is 12. 1 times 5 is 5. And then we're going to do that here as well. 12 over 5. So look, that one is true. Okay? Now let's try this one. 3 times 4 is 12. 1 times 5 is 5. Let's see if this equals. 5 times 3 is 15. 1 times 4 is 4. So that does not equal. So when we say not equal, we put a line through it, a slash through it. So no, that's false. All right, I'm going to let you do the last one on your own. And that should be easy enough. Just remember that this has a 1 under it, and you're doing 3 times 4, and 1 times 5, 4 times 3, 5 times 1. All right, let's go on to the story problem. It says Madison and Noah are reading new books from the library. Noah has read 3/8 of his book, which has 72 pages. Madison has read 3/5 of her book, which has 55 pages. Who has read more pages? How do you know? All right, so what we have to do here is, okay, Noah's book has 72 pages, and he's read 3/8 of it. So what we have to do is see how much is in 1/8. And we divide by 8 if we're trying to find 1/8. So 8 times what is 72? 9. All right. Now, that's 1/8 of the book is 9 pages. He read 3/8, so we have to do 9 times 3 is 27. So he has read 27 pages. Noah has. Okay? All right. So now Madison has read 3/5 of her book, which has 55 pages. All right, so we have to take 55 and first find out how many pages are in 1/5. 1/5. So we divide by 5. 5 goes into 5 once. 5 goes into 5 once. So we've got 11. So 1/5 of her book is 11 pages. 3/5 is 11 times 3, which is 33. So Madison has read 33 pages. She has read 33. So now the question is, well, number 1, show your work. We just did. And then who has read more pages? That is not you don't put 33 here. It says who, so you have to answer with Madison. All right? All right. I hope that helps you. Okay? All right, so let's move on to the next one. This is a puzzle. What is the value of the last row? All right. These are kind of fun, really, but if you want to think about 3 what equals 21, or 3 times what equals 21, and I think you know that is 7, so we know that these are 7. 7 plus 7 is 14. 14 plus 7 is 21. So now that we've got that, we can put that in here, and here, and here. So now, when we look at this, we always do multiplication first before addition anyway. So let's just do 7 times 7, which we know is what? 49. If we subtract 49 from 55, or 55, which is our total, minus this 49, it'll give us what the moon is. So we can't take 9 from 5, so we borrow from here. Make this a 4, make this a 15. 15 take away 9 is 6. So the moon is 6. 7 times 7 is 49. 49 plus 6 is 55. All right, so now we know the moon, so we're going to put that here. All right, so 6 times something plus the same thing is 56. So let's think. 6 times, it has to be the same number. So 6 times 8 is 48. I think we found it. So you had to play around with it. So I did 6 times 9 is 54, but this has to be a 9, and 54 plus 9 is not 56. So then I went to 8. So let's try 8, and we have to do this first because it's multiplication. So 6 times 8 is 48, and 48 plus 8, because these two have to be the same number. 8 plus 8 is 16. Carry the 1, 4 plus 1 is 56. So that works. All right. So now here we just have to put in our numbers. We found out that this is 8, this is 7, and the moon is 6. Now, what we have to do here is order of operations. So are we going to do 8 plus 7 first, or 7 times 6 first? Think about your order of operations. Parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. All right, so you can see that multiplication comes first before addition. So we have to go down the problem and do this first. So 7 times 6 is 42. 42 plus 8 is equals 50. 42 plus 8 is 50. Okay, wait a minute. Uh-oh, I did it again, guys. I did it again. Look at this. There's 2 of these. So this is not 8. This is 16 because there's 2 of the clouds. Okay, I hope you caught that. All right, so 42 plus 16. 42 plus 16. Okay, 6 plus 2 is 8. 4 plus 1 is 5. So the answer is 58, not 50. Okay? All right, let's move down. Complete the box challenges. All right. Oh, up here, I see. Hold on one second. Let me look at this. Okay, so when I look at this, okay, so if you multiply these two gray numbers together, you get 1/2 times 6. But remember, make that a fraction, right? 1 times 6 is 6. 2 times 1 is 2. Now this is a division problem. 6 divided by 2. So 2 times what is 6? 3. So when we multiply these two together, we get this as an answer. And then if we add these two together, 6 plus 1/2, we get 6.5. So that's what they want us to do here with these two. You multiply the two gray triangles, you get this answer at the top box. If you add these two, you get this answer in the bottom box. All right, so let's take a look and see. Oh, this is going to be tricky. Let's see. So we need an answer of 3 and 5, 6. Okay, maybe this will be okay. All right, so we have to, hold on. Okay, so what do you add to 5, 6 to get 3 and 5, 6? 3, right? So 3 plus 5, 6 is 3 and 5, 6. Now remember, the top box has to be when we multiply these two together. So we have 3, we're going to make it a fraction, times 5, 6. 3 times 5 is 15. 1 times 6 is 6. So we could say 15, 6. But it's probably best, and I would guess your teachers don't want you to leave it as an improper fraction. So it's 15 divided by 6. 6 times what is close to 15 without going over. Use your multiplication sheets. You should have gotten 2. 2 times 6 is 12. And then we subtract. 5 take away 2 is 3. And we've got 3, 6. Well, if we reduce that to lowest terms, 3 goes in the top and the bottom. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Oops. We don't want to forget our whole number. 2 and 1/2. 2 and 1/2. Okay, so either one of these is correct, but I'm guessing your teachers probably want you to reduce it. So I put 15, 6 or 2 and 1/2. Okay? All right, so over here, I really think you can do this on your own. You add these two together and get this number. So when we added these two together, we got 6.5. When we added these two together, we got 3 and 5, 6. So what do you think you're going to get if you add 2 and 4/5 together? Okay, put that here. Then for the top box, you're supposed to multiply them. And always remember when we're multiplying fractions to make that whole number a fraction, and by putting it over 1. So now you're going to have this, multiply those across. If you get an improper fraction, divide to get a mixed number. Okay? Try that one on your own. I know you can do it. All right, let's move up. It says find the product of each. I hope you remember that product is the answer in multiplication. So when you see the word product, now they give you a hint because they put it there, didn't they? Multiplication answer is a product. But you know what? Sometimes you'll have a test and it'll say, or like iStep or one of those, and it'll say, find the product 11 and 1/8. and it won't have that multiplication symbol there. So you need to know that product means to multiply. All right, these I know you can do. Again, it's just like up there that we just finished. You're multiplying 11 times 1/8, okay? Just put the 11 over 1 to make it a fraction. 11 times 1 is 11. 1 times 8 is 8. This is an improper fraction because the top number is bigger than the bottom number. So you divide 11 divided by 8. How many groups of 8 are in 11? Just one. 1 times 8 is 8. You have to borrow. 11 take away 8 is 3. And this 3 is the numerator and the 8 is the denominator. So your answer here is 1 3/8 or 11/8. Okay? I don't know if your teachers in their video, because you should be listening to their lessons first and then I go over it, but if they say leave it as an improper fraction, you can do this. If they say you have to reduce it to a mixed number, then do the division. Okay? All right, guys, that's week 3, day 4. Now we are going to do week 3, day 5. They doubled up this today. So this says using a ratio table. Fill in the ratio table for 23. Okay, hold on a minute. Okay, well guys, all you're going to do here is multiply this number times 23. So 2 times 23, oops, so 23 times 2, 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 2 is 4, this is 46. And then, so you're just going to multiply 10 times 23, 5 times 23, 20 times 23, and 15. I'll do one of the 2-digit numbers because sometimes those are hard. So we're going to do 15 times 23. So we start with the 3. We go 3 times 5 is 15. Put down your 5. Carry your 1. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. All right, now we have to multiply by the 2, and remember the answer is going to go in this column, not over here. So 2 times 5 is 10. Put down your 0. Carry your 1. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. And then we're going to add these. 5 plus 0 is 5. 4 plus 0 is 4. And 0 plus 3 is 3. So 345 is your answer here. So I'm going to let you fill in those others. Okay? All right. All right, now let's see. Solve these 2 division problems using the ratio table above. You can add to the ratio table if you want to. Oh, I see. Okay, so 368 divided by 23. How many 23s are in 36? 1. 1 times 23 is 23. Then we subtracted and got 138. Oh, I see. So we have to finish this table so that we can do this. Oh, guys, I just don't like how they're doing this. We have not learned it this way. I mean, it's a nice idea, I guess, but we have not learned it this way. So I'm just going to show you what they did, and then we're going to divide it the way we know how to divide it. So 23 times 10, when you're multiplying by 10, you're just going to add a 0. So this one is 230. 23 times 5. 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 2 is 10, and 1 is 11. So this is 115. All right, 20 times 23. Oh, I need to use that space. 20 times 23 is 0, 6, 4. So this is 460. All right, so what they did is they did how many 23s are in 36. So that would be 1. So that 1 goes there, and then they subtracted, brought it down, and how many 23s are in 138. So you go to the number that's closest to 138 without going over. And so then you get a 5. So you'll put a 5 here. 5 times 23, we have the work here, 115. Subtract, and we get 23. How many 23s are in 23? And we get 1. So 1 times 23 is 23. And then if you add these up, 10 plus 5 plus 1 is 16, and your answer is 16. Okay? All right, so I'm going to erase this and then put these numbers back so we can do the rest of the work. So let me go here and put this back in as 46. This back in as 230. This back in as, what did we say, 115. Oh dear. And this one is double the 10 one, so it's 460. And then 15 times 23, we said was 345. All right, so now I'm going to show you how we can do this one. So we're gonna set it up, oops, as 529 divided by 23. All right. So you're going to look here for the closest number to 52 without going over. And you can see that it's 46. So we're going to put a 2 up here. Remember, we don't put it over the 5 because 23 doesn't go into 5. 23 will go into 52 2 times. 2 times 23 is 46. So we're going to put that down here. And we're going to subtract. All right, and then we're going to borrow. 12 take away 6 is 6. Bring down our 9. All right, so I think we need to add to this actually. Let's add 3. Let's see what 3 times, oops, 23, oh dear, times 3 is. 3 times 3 is 9, 6 times, or 3 times 2 is 6, 69. Okay, so there's another one for us to use. So 3 times 23 we know is 69. Oops. All right, so the answer to that one, oh, I see. I guess did I do that right? I did do it right, but I didn't get the numbers up there. 23 is the right answer, so we're just going to put the 23 there. All right, so let me change colors just so. All right, so now we're going to do 414. Oops, 414. Divided by 23. Okay, so how many 23s are in 41? So let's look up here. This is too big, so we're going to go with 1. 1 times 23 is 23. And then we have to subtract. We cannot take 3 from 1, so we're going to borrow here. Make this a 3 and this a 1. 11 take away 3 is 8. 3 take away 2 is 1. And bring down our 4. All right, so we may need to go, let's see, 184. We're going to have to add another one here. Maybe 6. Let's try 6. 23 times 6. Oops, no, we're going to have to go higher than that, aren't we? 12, 13, that's only 138. So this is 138, so that's not going to help us because we have to get all the way up to 184. So let's try 23 times 8. Let's see what we get there. 8. 8 times 3 is 24. Put down our 4. Carry our 2. 8 times 2 is 16 plus 2 is 18. There's our 184. So we know that this is, here we can put that in here, 184. Oops. So we know that this is 8. We've already done the work. 8 times 23 is 184. And so our answer is 18. Okay? So it's not a bad idea if you get confused, let's say with a big divisor. Now they did it randomly and mixed up numbers, but you could, if you say had a 2-digit number and you just weren't sure how to do the division, you could go through here and put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, oops, and 9. Now, you could go through and let's say we have the number 16. All right, so 1 would be 16, 2 would be 32, or 16 and 16 is 32. 3 would be 48. And now you can skip count too. 48, see 32 plus 16 is 48. 48 plus 16 is 64. You see? 64 plus 16, 10, 6, 7, 80. You see? And that, if you did all that and then you went and did the division, that might help you, okay? Because I know sometimes 2-digit division is hard, but this might help you to take that extra step. All you're doing is skip counting. 16 plus 16 is 32. 32 plus 16 is 48. But then when you did the division, that might help you. All right, let's move on. All right, so now, okay, we did that. Would you rather, whichever option you choose to justify your reasoning with math. Okay, this is a long lesson, isn't it? I'm almost done. All right, so let's see. Would you rather have Cheez-Its to cover a rectangle with a length of 9 and a perimeter of 22, or a length of 5 and a perimeter of 20. Okay, so they want to see, okay, so I guess the idea is to see which option would give you more Cheez-Its, is I guess what they're trying to ask you. So let's see. Oh my goodness, hold on, let me fix that. So let's go here and do a rectangle here. Now you know these are all straight lines. I just can't get it right with this marker. Okay, so a length of 9 and a perimeter of 22. So if this is 9, we know that this is 9, right? Okay, and then if this is 18, what would these two be in order to get to 22? So 18 plus 4 is 22. So we have to make these together 4. So this would be 2, and this would be 2. Okay, so let's look at this one. The length of 5 and a perimeter of 20. So this is 5 and this is 5. So that's 10. And then 20 take away 10 is 10. Okay, well, so this one, this should have been like a square. So guys, don't be confused by my drawing here. This one should look like this. And take this out, this part. Okay, so this one's more, let me put it up here. This is more of a square because the length is 5, and now for the perimeter be 20, this side we already know is 5 because it's the opposite side. Well, that's 10. 20 take away 10 is 10, so this has to be 5 and this has to be 5. Okay? All right, so which would you rather have covered in Cheetos? Okay. Okay, so what we need to know, it's the inside that's covered with Cheetos. See, it says to cover. So we need to know what this would be, the area, the inside. So if we find the area of this, it's 5 times 5 is 25. And the area of this one is 9 times 2 is 18. Don't pay any attention to, this one looks bigger. It's not to scale. I just drew a shape. So we have to go by the numbers. So which one would you need more Cheetos to cover? Okay. Now, if you like Cheetos, you would probably pick this one. If you didn't like Cheetos, I guess you would pick this one. But anyway, go ahead and show your work, but of course you'll do a better drawing than I did because I am using this marker. It's crazy. And then you have to justify your reasoning. So you could say the area of this is bigger and it would take up more Cheetos or whatever you want to say. So that's what your diagram should look like, only you'll draw it better. All right, let's move on to the next one, LCM. Find the least common multiple of each pair of numbers. All right, the least common multiple of 8 and 28. So you find the multiples of 28. So this is skip counting. So the multiples of 8 are 8, plus 8 is 16, plus 8 more is 24, 32, 40, 48, 56. So 28 and 28 is 56. So the least common multiple, the LCM, remember we've had to find common ones and the smallest common one, all right? So the least common multiple of 8 and 12. So put your multiples in here. So 12, 12 plus 12 is 24. 24 plus 12 is 36. 36 plus 12 is 48. And then if we need more, we can add more. But right now we're going to put dot, dot, dot. So now 8 times 1 is 8. 8 plus 8 is 16. 16 plus 8 is 24. 24 plus 8 is 32. Oh, wait, I don't even have to go further, do I? I found a common multiple. And the smallest one that we find is 24. Okay? So I think you can do these last two on your own. You know how to skip count, and you just list them the way I did, and you will be fine. All right, let's move up. Rewrite each pair of fractions. This is our last one. Rewrite each pair of fractions with a common denominator. Use the least common multiples above to help. Then use less than, greater than, or equal to. Okay, so if you have this filled out, that will help you. Now I can't be on this at the same time as I'm on this, but you can with, your papers, you can be on the same. Look at both. So 6/8 and 17/28. Okay, oh, I see what they did. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Rewrite each pair. Okay, they're comparing fractions. So you have to decide is 6/8 less than, greater than, or equal to 17/28. Okay, so we found up there 56 was the common denominator. So 8 times 7 is 56. And then whatever we do to the bottom, we have to do to the top, 42/56. So we know that 6/8 is the same as 42/56. So just like when we add and subtract fractions, the denominators have to be the same in order to compare them. And when we compare, we use less than, greater than, or equal to. We have to make common denominators. All right, so 28 times 2 we knew was 56. Whatever we do to the bottom, we have to do the top, and we get 34. So now that they are the same denominator, now we can compare them. We don't do anything with the 56. All we're going to do is look at the two top numbers. 42 is greater than 34. Okay, so that's why we have this. So then, though, you have to go back to the original problem, and you have to put the greater sign in there. Okay, this is the original problem. So you can't stop here, but you can't figure it out unless you do this work. All right, let me do another one with you. So we found up there that 24 was the common denominator, right? Okay, so we said 8 times 3 is 24. Whatever we do to the bottom, we have to do to the top. So 5 times 3 is 15. So 5/8 is the same as 15/24. But we can't compare them unless we have common denominators. So over here, 12 times 2 is 24. And so whatever we do to the bottom, we have to do to the top. 9 times 2 is 18. So 18/24 is what 9/12 is. So now it's easy. We can compare because we don't worry about the 24ths. We just look at the top numbers. 15 is less than 18. So 15/24 is less than 18/24. So that's what they put over here. 15. Oopsie. 24s okay, this is a 5, is less than 18 24ths. So 5/8 is less than 9/12. Okay? All right, so, okay, let's go back up here. And we had to find the common multiple of 6 and 15. All right, so 6 times 1 is 6. Oh, come on. Oh, there we go. 6. Skip count, we get 12. 18. 18 plus 6 is 24. 24 plus 6 is 30. All right? Dot, dot, dot. So 15 plus 15 is 30. So there's our common denominator there. Now let's look at this one. 14 plus 14 is 28. 28 plus 14 is 38. Wait a minute. 38. 42. Okay, so we know that 6 times 7 is 42. If we did this further, 30 plus, okay, I don't want to confuse you. Well, 6 times 5 is 30. Then 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times 7 is 42. So this is going to be the common multiple here. So 42, so 30 and 42. So now let's take that information and go back here. So we found out that we have to get to 30 here, 30 here, and 30 here. And then here we were getting to 42. Now you have your paper so you can look back at it. So those are your common denominators. So we have to think 6 times what is 30? Remember, 5. Whatever we do to the bottom, we have to do to the top. So 4 times 5 is what? 20. So 20 30s is the same as 4 6. You see? All right, now let's find 12 15ths. 15 times what is 30? So we know that 15 times 2. 2 15ths is 30. So whatever we do to the bottom, we have to do to the top. And we got 12 times 2 is 20. Wait, no. 12 times 2 is 24. Okay. Goodness. 24 30s. 24 30. Now, it's easy to compare now. 20 is less than 24. Less. Okay? So 20 30ths is less than 24 30ths. So because 20 30ths is the same as 4 6ths and 24 30ths is the same as 12 15, we can put the less sign here. Okay? All right, I want you to try this one on your own. I've helped you out with the denominators. So you just have to do 6 times what is 42. Use your sheet. Whatever you multiply here, multiply here. 14, we did that up there. We found out actually that 14 times 3 is 42. Okay, so now multiply this by 3. All right, no more hints. You can do this. All right, guys. Oh, we had a long lesson today, 45 minutes. Ooh-wee. All right, but we did 2 different lessons, 4 and 5. So that's it. we are done for the weekend. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you Tuesday. Bye-bye.